What's up, guys? If you recently rolled a D-Meta or a Riser, you might be wishing that you had a max skilled Heir to go on the team. And Heir Descended is in the January Expert Quest dungeons, but after you finish the dungeon once, you could be thinking to yourself, ugh, I would rather farm Arena for Ps than run that dungeon again. There's a few teams that can reliably farm the dungeon, but they require very specific cards, and this team is no exception. It's an Awoken Machine Noah x Awoken Machine Noah build, and the first thing you might notice is that it calls for Groudon, but I don't have a Groudon, so I substituted Green Odin Tamadra. The difference is Groudon has 3 skill boost and Green Odin Tamadra only has 1, so if you make that substitution, just know you'll have to compensate with skill boost equips or additional skill delay resist Latent Awakenings. I tried to make a build where the kill shot was set up and you wouldn't have to move any orbs, and I did accomplish that, but the team requires a little bit more work than I would have liked. It does bring full blind resist as well as cloud resist, and it has a balance killer equip on one Machine Noah to deal enough damage on floor 5. The first floor has a preemptive cooldown. It's the first of 2 cooldowns in the dungeon, so if you make substitutions, just make sure you count your skill boost and skill delay resist to ensure your actives will be up in time. There's not a lot of hit points on this floor, so I'll just use Awoken Machine Noah and swipe. The second floor absorbs light, and even though there's no light on the team, if you make a substitution that does involve light, it's a no Skyfall dungeon, so that shouldn't make a difference. Use another Awoken Machine Noah and swipe. The third floor, Amir actually heals us to full hit points, which is a shame because Awoken Machine Noah has a hit point condition in her leader skill. But we're just going to use another Awoken Machine Noah, cut our hit points in half again, followed by a Fujin and a swipe. Interestingly, Groudon and Green Odin Tamadra both have auto heal awakenings, so at the end of the floor we're actually a hair above 50% hit points, which means we're going to do less damage on the next floor. Thankfully, Baldin has Dragon Killer awakenings, which means it compensates for the lower damage. Here you don't need Mori and Blue Hunter, the haste isn't even what's important, you just need a board and a plus combo that'll guarantee you 8C almost every time. If you have a planar which gives you plus 3C, that would be great. If you don't have a planar but you have Cthulhu which gives you plus 2C, that's great too. Just bring a combination of skills that gives you a 8C board almost every time. The 5th floor takes away our Awoken skills, so this is where Green Odin Tamadra will save the day. I would normally use an Odin Dragon, but Odin Dragon heals you 40% of your max hit points, and that puts you at too high a health to deal maximum damage against the boss. Here, the Balance Killer equip goes to work. Air gives you 3 tests before you can actually deal any damage. You need to pass at least one of those tests. The Blind Resist and Cloud Resist helps, and she always makes a 10 combo board. You need 8 combos in order to pass the test. You also need player B to take the first 2 tests. So here, Mo is going to solve the board, get at least 8C, and then that test is passed. But if you mess up, it's okay, you get another try at it. After this solve, player A is going to pass back to player B for the second test. Cloud Resist makes it easy. In this case, Mo only needs to 1C. The third test involves the confusion mechanic, and let's face it, nobody likes the confusion mechanic. Nobody. So just get 1C and move on to dealing some actual damage. Now that the damage void is gone, you're going to make a setup board. You're going to use Goemon, followed by a top and bottom row change, followed by Yoshino and Mel, both of which's base active has come back up after their inherit was used earlier in the dungeon. If you time the actives right, and use the orb changes exactly when the rotating orb is already the normal color before change, then you don't need to fix it later. In this case, you can't tell behind the scenes, but Mo is pushing and holding the rotating orb in order to get it back on color before swiping for a 6C board. It's only 6C, but it's just enough damage to kill with the God Killer Latent Awakenings on Baldin. If you failed all 3 tests, Air actually puts up a 75% shield, and then this build won't work unless you change around the actives to bring some sort of burst. Look, it wasn't a perfectly swipeable dungeon, but I think it was just well designed to make it so that we couldn't cheese our way through it. Hopefully this gives you some ideas of what you have in your box to work to farm up a max skilled heir. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe, or watch more videos just like it by clicking over to my right. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Bye.